For more insight into the death of Pope Emeritus Benedict, let's bring in Elise Allen, senior correspondent for Crux. She's also standing by in St. Peter's Square. Hi, Elise.
Hi, Christine.
Elise, so the biggest question on everyone's mind right now, how exactly does a reigning pope celebrate the funeral of a retired one? It's something we haven't experienced in our lifetimes.
You're right. This is completely new. It's uncharted territory for the Vatican completely. So one thing we do know is this is not being made up as we go. You know, the Vatican, I think, has been planning this for quite some time. So the answer to your question is, you know, it's going to look a lot like it does for a reigning pope with some small differences in terms of references to maybe the current pope or the pope's reign. I mean, those things have been changed because, of course, Benedict has not been pope for almost 10 years now. And so little things like that will be changed. But by and large, the ceremony will be very similar to what we saw, for example, with John Paul II in 2005. He is still somebody who occupied the papal office, and he will still have most of those honors. We do know that at some point tomorrow afternoon, they will close his coffin. The laying in state will cease. And tomorrow morning, shortly before 9 a.m., he'll be brought out into the piazza, St. Peter's Square, for faithful to pray in front of him. They're going to pray the rosary before Mass begins. And then, of course, after the funeral, he'll be brought down into the Vatican grottos and entombed there in the same place where John Paul II himself was entombed. So there will still be many of the same touches, the same details, the same special moments as part of the ceremony. But of course, it will be more subdued and more simple because that's the way Benedict himself wanted it. And it's also a different situation because he is an emeritus pope rather than a reigning one.
Right. Now, there's long been speculation about Pope Francis stepping down due to his health issues and his age, rumors he himself has dismissed. But now with the death of Benedict, do you think he'll reconsider his own retirement? You know, we could have had 3 popes living at once.
We could have, you know, and that would have been an even more unique situation than one we've been in, right, for the last 10 years. So, you know, and I don't know that Francis will consider resigning right away. You know, he's mentioned before that he's open to that and that he would resign if there comes a moment when he feels like he can't continue or that he's discerned that the moment has come when there's time for a change. But for the most part, I think Francis has a busy agenda, and he is somebody that wants to continue. We see that he has a busy schedule. You know, even this coming year, he has foreign trips already on the calendar, and he has a global synod process that he's extended for another year into 2024. So he's not slowing down, and I think while he might consider resignation at some point in the future, it's not something I think he's prepared to do anytime soon.
Yeah, he's a busy man. All right, there's been some talk about Catholic conservatives going adrift now that they've lost a pope they align themselves with. What kind of effect will Benedict's passing have on the conservative Catholic movement, if at all, any?
Well, honestly, like you said, I don't know that it will have a lot of effect. I mean, the Catholic conservative movement was around before Benedict, even before John Paul II, and it will last far beyond. There's, you know, always a change in tone around here, you know, like you have some papacies that lean, as you would say, more conservative or some more progressive. Things are constantly changing depending on the man who's in office, and sort of the movements in the church or the factions, right, haven't ever changed, and I think they will always be there. And I think Benedict himself is such a towering and important figure that he will continue to be a point of reference, even long beyond his funeral and his passing. You know, as one senior Vatican official put it the other night when I was speaking with him, you know, now he's not going to pray for Benedict, he's going to pray to Benedict. So the conversation with Benedict and seeing Benedict as a point of reference is something I think it's going to continue well into the future.
So really quickly, will Benedict's death open the door to new rules for retired popes?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. That's the question everyone is asking right now. And I think the answer to that is we don't know. Francis has given mixed messages on this. He's said, you know, before that he thinks new rules are needed, but he's also said in an interview, even as recent as last month, that he hasn't thought about changing the rules yet. So I think the answer to your question is we don't know. We're going to have to wait and see.
All right, we definitely will. Elise Allen, senior correspondent for Crux, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Christine.
Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti, anchor of Currents News. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button on this video. And if you want to see more content just like it, subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, because we are putting your faith in the news.